Okay, hello, good morning. It's a lovely Tuesday. My name's Alan Friesen. I'm the Chief Evangelist for the Caring Employers Healthy Teams Collaborative, a way that small business can get big business pricing and big business benefits and longer rate guarantees and amazing service. With me is Ben Osmond from Osmond Finley Associates. Ben is the only IROC. Is that correct? You're the only IROC.
In Lethbridge for our firm, yes.
So I actually, if I was him, I'd say Ben Osmond, IROC. But he's the only one in Lethbridge, and that stands for what?
It's the regulatory body. It's the regulatory organization of Canada that's over investments. Basically.
Over investments. Yeah. Super smart about investments, super personable. We meet at BNI, me and Tony as well, who's on the other side of the screen here. We meet regularly every Tuesday. Some of the things he says just amaze me. Like, you're very knowledgeable about things and just blows me away. With me is Tony Days. Tony Days is with Kidsport, and Kidsport is an organization. Well, why should I talk? Tony, what's
just in its lowest common denominator, Kidsport is to help kids get off the sideline and into the game. 1 in 3 kids not able to afford to play organized sports, and we're talking team sports, we're talking individual sports like taekwondo, anything like that. I think we all know how important team sports and sports in general is to kids, both physically and mentally, and our aim is just to get as many kids as possible who can't normally afford to play sports into sports. And especially nowadays with the way everything costs, it's getting astronomical, and sadly, when you're paying so much more for food and clothing and power and other necessities, the first thing to kind of fall by the wayside is putting your child in any kind of sport. So we need help more now than ever before.
Yeah, super important, right? Sport in general is important. Connection that you have that way, the lessons learned from playing against a team sport, right? About how you win, how you lose, what you learn, like those kind of things, super important.
Absolutely.
Now, when he was a young man, he's super successful, super knowledgeable. Did I mention that? But when he was a younger boy, he needed some support to get into sports. Tell us about your story there, Ben.
Well, first off, I'm extremely grateful to Kidsport. I am fortunate to be in a position where I've been able to sponsor the golf tournaments and give donations and to help other kids to play, because that's how I got to play. So, I grew up very fortunate. I grew up on a farm, but let's say cash flow wasn't always readily available. So sports to me as a kid was everything. Most of my best friends today were still the guys that I played sports with through junior high, high school, and even in the university. Sports was a way that helped pay for my college education. It seemed like it was the biggest and most important thing of my life, and I couldn't play because we couldn't afford to send. I had 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and so there was certain sports that we definitely could not play. They were just out of the budget, but I still remember as a little kid seeing my mom fill out the Kidsport application to apply for funding so we could play soccer and so we could play football. And without this organization, I wouldn't have learned any of the lessons that I learned in sports. A lot of my friends I wouldn't have. I would have had to pay more for school. And I felt like Kidsport was the organization that launched all that for me and gave me an opportunity to really become who I am. And so I'll forever be grateful for that organization, what they did.
Beautiful. That's an awesome story. Yeah. And I didn't have support of Kidsport, but I had certainly, a team experience as well. I had this gentleman, Morris Lanou, was our hockey coach, right? And he was the guy who drove the bus and had a dairy farm, and he also coached kids, right? And it was, that I learned so much from that experience with him, and just sport in general. So sport, we all agree that it's very crucial to having a great development, a great experience as a young person, and that leads through to as an adult as well. So thanks for sharing that, Ben. I appreciate that. And basically, all we want to do is share that with you. If this resonates with you, if you need support in order to play, for your child, you're a single mom, let's say, and like the budget's real tight, well, reach out to Kidsport. Maybe they can help. If you're in a position where you have the resources, maybe reach out to Kidsport and support them. They need donations. They need volunteers sometime for events that they have. Anything else we want to add to that, Tony?
No, that's fantastic. I mean, it's it's stories like Ben's that kind of resonate with a lot of people, and Ben's the kind of guy, like, let's be honest, I think Ben would be successful no matter what happened as a kid, right? Like he's that kind of a guy with that kind of personality. But it is true, like the avenue he took was a different avenue with and because of Kidsport than it would have been without. And I think when you kind of know the benefits of playing sports, whether it's team sports or not, you raise better kids who get some qualities from sports, and therefore you have better communities. So that's what that's the end goal, is to get kids in sports, and hopefully they can get rid of some of those barriers that are there. So yeah, whether you can help with any kind of donation, or whether you do need Kidsport, kidsport.ca, and you'll find the Lethbridge Tabor chapter and get a hold of us. We're more than happy to help.
So all kids can play.
All kids can play.
All right. Well, keep yourself well. Support Kidsport if you can. Reach out to Kidsport if you need the help to have your young person, young woman, man or woman involved in sport. It makes a big difference. You still got friends from back in the day when you played sports with them, right? Still. So that's amazing. Okay. Kidsport, so all kids can play. Keep well. Thanks.
Thank you.